In 3 years, I buried 39 time-traveling women. Just like me, every single one of them was after the Empress Seal to extend their life. The eunuch working alongside me flashed a grin. Miss Ruoxi, you think there are any time travelers still left in the palace? That kind of question was a trap, and I wasn't about to take the bait. Once the last shovel of dirt hit the ground, I kept it simple. Do your job. Don't ask what you shouldn't. Keep your head attached to your neck. From day one, I made myself look like I belonged here, studying everything I didn't know, never once acting smarter or different than a palace maid should. Fair enough, I was just curious. Word is the head eunuch's been hunting for time travelers again these past few days. Wonder who's next. I said nothing. My pace just got faster. The palace had tried just about every method imaginable to root out time travelers. In the beginning, they all thought they were the chosen one, here to live out some fairy tale romance with the emperor, happily ever after. One of them actually engineered high-powered explosives. The emperor was thrilled and nearly rewarded her with 10,000 taels of gold on the spot. But these women from my world couldn't hide their ambitions. They'd barely opened their mouths before asking about the Empress Seal. The emperor was paranoid by nature. Sure, it looked like they'd fallen out of favor, but the way I saw it, they were just locked in a gilded cage, drained of every last bit of usefulness. I'd thought about running too, but the 12th time traveler already tried that for me. When she got caught, her abilities were nothing new. The others before her had already handed over everything she knew. So before the flogging execution, every off-duty maid and eunuch in the palace gathered in the courtyard to watch. That's when it hit me. Everyone in this palace was watching everyone else. There was a guilt by association system. If one person slipped up, anyone who knew and said nothing got the same death sentence. The eunuch assigned to me, Shuangxi, was the one tied to my fate. I never knew whether he was testing me or just genuinely curious. I just washed up, changed, and went back to handling meals for the neglected consort stuck in the cold palace. Thanks to the time traveler's knowledge advancing technology, even the palace cookware had noticeably changed over 3 years. But I never let on that I knew how to stir-fry or sauté. Every time I just chopped up whatever ingredients they gave me, tossed it all in the pot, boiled it until done, and walked it over. Shuangxi always said my cooking tasted exactly like pig slop from back home. And I kept right on living that exact same routine, day after identical day, for 204 days. I just finished delivering meals when one of the head eunuch's errand boys showed up. I plastered on my most obsequious smile and practically bent myself in half. You must be exhausted, Eunuch Shu. What brings you all the way out to the cold palace? We'd crossed paths a few times before. He looked me up and down and let out a sharp, thin little snort. Things have been way too quiet around here lately. The head eunuch sent us to take a look around, see if anything interesting's going on. I kept my expression flat and tightened my fists inside my sleeves. Interesting? In the cold palace? Please. It's just eat, sleep, eat, and listen to the crazy ones sing all day. Eunuch Shu's robe swept past me, heading straight toward my room. I watched him push the door open and my palms went ice cold. I had a feng shui ward set up in my room to keep myself hidden. Over the years, it had quietly covered my tracks more times than I could count. Well now, Miss Ruoxi, this is quite a room. The setup is nothing like the other palace staff. I kept smiling, but it felt like my face was about to crack. It's the dead of winter and every plant outside has withered. But this orchid of yours is in full bloom. Impressive. I just burn charcoal at night so the room stays warm, and the window faces east, so the flower gets morning sun every day. Eunuch Shu stared at me, but said nothing. He left my room and wandered over to Shuangxi's. After Eunuch Shu and his 2 little attendants casually strolled off, my heart was still pounding like it was about to burst out of my chest. I'd barely straightened up when Eunuch Shu's errand boy came back, specifically asking for the orchid from my room. He grabbed it before I could even nod. Damn it, my birth date was buried inside that pot. I couldn't chase after him. My throat was burning and I couldn't stop coughing. Miss Ruoxi, you're shivering. Did you catch a chill yesterday while digging graves? Shuangxi helped me lie down, but I'd started trembling all over. I couldn't tell if it was shock or an actual cold. That night, the nightmares came. The time traveler who'd been beaten to death. I saw myself in her place, every single bone in my body aching beyond bearing. When I woke up, the room was dead silent. The spot where the orchid used to sit was still empty. I forced myself up and shuffled to the teapot, bone dry. And at this hour, Shuangxi next door was nowhere to be found. Where did he go? I wiped the cold sweat from my forehead, threw on a robe, and stepped outside. The cold palace was eerily quiet. Then Shuangxi came rushing back, steps hurried and panicked. Why are you standing outside? You'll make it worse. He came over to steady me, and that's when I caught it. A faint, sickening smell. Part vomit, part blood. Where were you? What is that smell? The forced composure on Shuangxi's face collapsed instantly. His hands dropped and he didn't know what to do with them. They were shaking. He was 5 or 6 years younger than me. The last time I'd seen him this scared was when we were burying bodies together. The consorts in the cold palace, but they're all gone. What do you mean, gone? I already had a bad feeling, but my throat felt like it was caving in. Women in this palace had one way out, and it wasn't the front gate. How did it happen? I steadied my own panic and gently calmed his trembling hands. Imperial decree. So the smell on Shuangxi, Was the blood and vomit from those women after they drank the poisoned wine. No wonder the cold palace was so quiet tonight. Even the crickets had gone silent. Go take a bath. Wash all that off. I handed him a cloth to wipe his eyes. Those consorts had been our companions in here. You can't help but feel something. With no one left in the cold palace to serve, the two of us were going to be reassigned, somewhere unknown. I didn't say a word. I just told him to go clean up and quietly rearrange the feng shui layout in my room while he was gone. Clearly, someone upstairs had started suspecting me. Before dawn, 4 or 5 eunuchs showed up at the door. They said Eunuch Shu felt bad that Shuangxi and I had been burying so many people. They were here to help. The dead consorts had been wrapped in grass mats, stacked layer by layer onto carts. After the paperwork cleared, both carts were hauled out through the lowest, most hidden palace gate, the one reserved for livestock and corpses, nothing like the grand ceremonial gates used for emperors and empresses. So how are we digging this one? Shuangxi knew I always consulted the compass for feng shui placement and stood there waiting. I glanced at the 5 eunuchs trailing us. Too quiet, too careful, suspicious. Just dig a hole and throw them in. They weren't favored in life. What kind of peaceful rest do you think they deserve now? Shuangxi looked like he wanted to argue, but quickly nodded and waved the others to start digging. Usually I'd fix the bodies up and choose a proper orientation. But today, showing any kindness would get me killed. Only cold and ruthless played right in this palace. These time travelers, every one of them bright-eyed and sweet, straight out of the best era in history, some who'd never even killed a chicken. Hopelessly naive. The cart tipped. The bodies tumbled into the pit in a tangled heap. I grabbed a shovel and filled the hole alongside the others, and within minutes my aching body was drenched in sweat. 2 steps after I turned to leave, my vision went black. I lost my balance and fell backward into the grass. A few eunuchs hauled me onto the cart, and by then I was barely conscious. When I came to, I was in a different room. My bedding was still mine, but everything else in the place had changed.